All right, now let's get into our conversation in the track. Are the powers that be buck breaking Kyrie Irving for everyone to see?
Yeah, I think they are. Seriously, that's just like that. We just talked about the Sophia, is that her name, Roland incident. You know, they wanted him to donate 500,000 plus I guess the Nets or somebody was gonna donate another 500,000 to anti-Semitic group. They said they didn't want his money. Now
the group didn't want it.
They didn't want his money. They just want, he didn't apologize. And my thing is, everybody's upset with him over a link tag.
Yeah, you should have anti-Semitic link conspiracy theory to the Holocaust.
But somebody doing something blatantly right here in your face, but she don't have it like he had it. And the thing is, he said he didn't share it because it was like making a statement. He shared it because he looked up his name in the Hebrew language. He looked up what they had on Amazon for it. The documentary popped up and he watched it and he shared it. He didn't create the documentary, so why is everybody so upset with him?
Right.
He did not create the documentary. It was made for people to watch and share, right?
Right.
So why is he being punished for watching and sharing a documentary that he didn't even know anything about?
There's a full internet out there full of things that people have made that people can share. Child porn, for instance. That doesn't make you innocent. You need to be an educated individual upon observing the content before you share it, so it's the accountability aspect. KFC just got into some shit earlier, actually yesterday, for sharing a promotion for Kristallnacht, which is basically the night of broken glass in 1938, I believe. The night when the Holocaust basically occurred and started, the slaughtering of the Jews by Germans. And they promoted their sandwich based upon that night, and they had to issue a corporate apology for that. Do I agree with the extortion of the NBA for Kyrie Irving? No. Do I own a pair of Kyrie Irvings? Yes. Did I toss them in the trash? Absolutely, because I don't endorse racism or anti-Semitism of any kind against any ethnicity or ethnic group.
What did he do that was racist?
Observed content that he should have clearly knew that was not true and or racist against a particular group of people, and shared it as an endorsement of that said content.
Do you have an Amazon account?
I do have an Amazon account.
So, do you hold Amazon accountable for any of this? Because that's where he watched it at.
So he watched it, sure, but he shared it as an endorsement, as like he's supporting it as a theory, just like Elon Musk shared a conspiracy theory about the attack on Paul Pelosi.
But Amazon's making money just like the person that's made the documentary is making money every time somebody watches it.
I don't disagree
So
with that.
Amazon is the one that gave them the platform
I agree with
to even make this visible to the world.
So you're going to throw your Amazon account away?
I mean, I'm not.
I have not renewed my Prime account, actually.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I love Prime.
I've not renewed my Prime
Amazon,
account.
I love y'all. I don't care. Ain't none of my business what y'all decide to sell, share, as long as you got them low prices and deliver to my door. Because I don't drive and I got 2 kids out here and we need stuff. So anybody want to know, let Amazon know. Tell them I said to you, to them, that I'm not mad at them.
Some of the things I've been kind of like researched, it said that the blacks cannot be anti-Semitic because we are the Semitic people, which goes back to what we was talking about with the Kanye earlier.
That's part of that. There's the actual extremist group, I believe they're called the HSIs, that I was in prison with. Basically, it's an extremist anti-Israelite group that it's not founded based in either genetic or archaeological evidence. Not that black people can't be Jewish, but that black people are the only Jews. used. It's replacement theory. It's the same theory that the Klan uses. And it's the same theory.
Or original.
Yeah, you know what it's the same theory that the modern day GOP uses. They're coming for your guns. They're going to replace your freedom. They're coming across the border. They're going to replace your jobs. They're going to take this. It's a replacement theory platform, and we just keep reiterating it in different aspects and across all races and creeds and ethnicities. And we got to stop that shit and realize we're all one people, and stop defining ourselves by these labels, and stop sharing these things that deny the atrocities that happened to the people beforehand, and stop trying to identify ourselves as people of different groups and tribes, instead of coming together as one people, demanding accountability for the people that we ultimately answer to, who should ultimately answer to us.
The government.
But
Facts.
they're gonna, if they stop sharing that type of stuff, then they would still have to stop sharing negative, demeaning music that is out here. That
No, I
is
totally
being
agree with
pumped
They're not gonna
into-
do it.
Hey,
though.
They're
Music.
not. But I'm saying,
I agree with you.
it's so many levels when it comes to that. The things that are put out for us to take in, and the thing is, there's just like last year, it was a real big deal. One of the senators wanted to take out slavery out of the history books. They
One of
felt
the
like
senators?
he thought it was biased, and that it was the reason that a lot of the protests and things were happening, and that a lot of tension between races is because it tells the story of the past as them being aggressors to us. Which the thing is, it's like it's levels.
We
You
did
know
the-
what I mean? Like so many levels that there's so much they can't take away the negative, because if they don't feed us negative, then we have nothing to fear.
Right.
And if we have nothing to fear, then they have no control.
Fear is how you elect people, and so people will always scare you into voting. That's the biggest fucking thing. Secondly, with the ethnicity aspect of who we are as a people, I will say, my wife, as I said, is Nigerian and German, and I'm Irish and German. I didn't even know I had a dash of Russian in me, which is a bad time to even have that at this point. But the fact is, I can't trace her actual, and we did the DNA test, I can't trace her relatives back from Virginia. Why do you think that is? You know what I mean? And so the point is that we have to come to a term where we, yes, you've said it's a lot of work to clean it up. But sweeping a floor starts from one corner of the room, and somebody's got to start sweeping.
But that's a whole generation of people that don't want to sweep.
And that's the fucking problem.
Don't nobody want to have to, you say that, but then they wonder why one of the youngest ever elected, what seat he get on Trees, was it senator or mayor? 25 years old.
He's 25 years old.
25 years
He's from
old.
Florida.
But
He went
he's
to
young,
Congress.
Congress, and how many young people do you know that go out for those type of jobs?
He's the
Where,
only one.
I'm a Republican. Let me put that out there.
I'm a
And
constitutionalist.
I vote for who is gonna do what I need them to do, so that I can stay a middle class.
Have they done it?
I don't know yet. They all just come in.
No.
But I'm not gonna say I voted for the people that come in, because some of the people I voted for,
What?
I didn't see come through.
The IRS just raised the tax brackets, which a lot of our viewers here will get offended, lowered their actual tax bracket, which will automatically make you pay less in taxes, so don't get so offended. But middle class ain't middle class anymore. And middle class is basically a terminology that corporations have used to make you a cog in the corporate machine, to make you think that you're any different than the neighbor down the street. And it's all based upon consumerism and a little bit more money, just to keep you a little bit more happy while
I'm
they
middle class
overwork you.
because Trump made poor people middle class
Yeah.
Americans. Because I know I got my checks. I got 2 kids
You know what
out
the middle
here,
class
and
wage
I
is?
work. So my COVID relief,
You know what the middle
You
class
see it on the
bracket
wall.
is in Kentucky?
Police Palace,
Guess.
shop local. You feel me?
Guess what the middle class income wage is in Kentucky?
35,000.
No,
I was gonna say like 55.
you're close. But they just raised it this year. It was 56,000. And so that would have to be your entire household income to be middle class, and to be lower class is 25,000. And so I earned last year close to middle class wages while living in Buffalo Trace apartments. No different and no more able to buy food than my neighbor down the street or the girl digging out my dumpster. Because
And that's why I'm grateful and vote for the people that's gonna help me, even though they don't make it in all the time, but that's gonna help me make sure I do have means to provide
always
for
vote
my
who
children.
gives
You know
no
what I'm saying?
common sense.
Because I don't do politics. I see you got a
Yeah.
lot of background with these politics. Y'all know I own the whole hair store next sit in between the courthouse and City Hall. I lasted 12 hot months. You know why? Because I don't do politics. And everything down there and around there is political. They asked me, did I want to run for a political seat? No, I do not. Do I want to run one of the groups? No, I do not. You understand me? Because politics are what? They're gangs, they're cliques, there's
Facts.
posses. And whoever got the best, biggest posse with the fattest wallet wins. I don't care. Even if
Wrong
we do
vote.
vote, they buy votes. And I don't mean like knock on your door.
No.
They do things to
This is yours.
to
My
get
bad.
you to want to vote for that
Wow.
person. You understand what I'm saying? They hit home for you.
So there's actually a story. It's called the Clay 8, and you can Google that. It's actually Clay County 8 officials, some of which are currently holding office as felons, and they might hate me for outing them right here, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. They're holding office currently, and they were actually convicted of felonies of buying votes in a vote buying scheme and went to federal prison. You can Google that. It's called the Clay 8. And so that being said, you're correct. The other thing is, we tried to outlaw lynching for the better part of almost 100 years, and in 2020, we just re-elected Rand Paul this year and did not vote for Booker. Rand Paul in 2020 blocked an anti-lynching bill that finally, thanks to Biden, and I'm no Democrat, I'm a constitutionalist, moderate with liberal tendencies. I vote for common sense policies. If you don't like what I like, cool, we can disagree and still be friends. But finally, in 2022, we just now passed the anti-lynching bill federally. And slavery on the ballot still exists in 13 states after voting.
That's great.
And then after that, Georgetown and Danville just elected in 2022 their first black mayors. It's 2022. 2022. 500,000 people voted for Charles Booker this year, which is a great turnout. But you know what? The number of people between 18 and 35 average around 20% of the vote, while the same people that were alive during segregation average around the other 80% of the vote. And so hold them same values and hand them down to their kids and teach them, the values of that. And that's how they're going to vote consistently until the newer generation shows up and shows out and stops talking that shit online and actually goes to the polls.
Yeah, I took my daughter. She turned 18 on the 2nd, and they wouldn't let her vote. Said that she registered a week later than she was required, and but she did go with me, and her plan was to vote. You know, even though it didn't work out, she knows that that's what we do. You know, it's part of the process.
So, before we end this last point of the conversation, is Kyrie right or wrong?
Kyrie is entitled to his beliefs, as we are entitled to disagree with Kyrie. That is the beauty of America. You're free to be racist, but say it with your chest.
Yeah.
So, a lazy racist, I don't agree with. If you're racist, just come out and fucking say it. Say it with your chest and have the balls to say it to my face. Just like the people that are making fun of John Fetterman and Byron Ferry stutters. I stutter during this podcast. I took speech therapy. My daughter's underdeveloped and Nikki baby stutters and takes speech therapy. I just stuttered just now. So say it with your fucking chest when I see you. I don't endorse any sort of discrimination, making fun of a person for their appearance, disability, this, that, the other. No matter who you are. I don't give a fuck if you play sports or not. that doesn't entitle you to better treatment. Kyrie Irving should have done what he did and watched the movie and been like, damn, maybe I should ask somebody about this if I don't understand it, or maybe he thought he understood it and shared it, which is his right to. But free speech doesn't mean it lacks consequences, you know. So that's what it is. Do I agree with the NBA's extortion of him by making him pay for that? No, that's a little fucking stretch on the free speech amendment. No, I don't. Will I endorse Kyrie Irving's statements? Absolutely fucking not. And so I think that's where it is. I think, you know, they're trying to save their brand by doing these whole kind of extortionary payments, but that's not enough. Kyrie doesn't owe anybody an apology for how he feels. If that's how he feels, he just needs to admit it. If he was wrong, then admit it too. But he doesn't owe anybody shit. Neither does any other racist in the nation. If you're racist, just fucking be racist. We ain't gotta fuck with you. You can go off in your own little clique like y'all been doing for the last fucking 100 years, and we'll just deal with you accordingly. And that's all I got to say about that.
I just think he's just human, and I think that he saw it, and maybe he was wondering how many other people had saw it and shared it, trying to see how many views and comments he would get on. You just never know why somebody does the things that they do. But my thing is, if you look online right now and scroll between the positive and the negative and see what has more views.
My opinion is, and this is from a computer science standpoint, Kyrie Irving tried to get clout off of Kanye's algorithm, off the anti-Semitism trending hashtags, by sharing an anti-Semitic link. And that's my computer science standpoint, and that's my opinion, not a fact. But sharing that link would automatically piggyback off the Kanye West bullshit and put Kyrie Irving in the trending topics where he would have new shoes coming out. And speaking of new shoes, Adidas only loses 7% of their profit by dropping Kanye's Yeezys, and it's their intellectual property, and are launching the Yeezys without the Yeezys name. So that answers that.
All right, real quick before we get out of here, for those that are about that swinger life, check out Central Kentucky's adult parties. They host in-person hotel events throughout each month, 21 and up. The affiliate link will be in on this show. Shout out Rob Dobb.
Shout out Rob Dobb. Hey,
Rob Dobbins actually taught me how to rap, believe it or not.
He's got one. He throws one of the hottest adult parties.
I'll do the swinger shit, but I fuck with Rob Dobbins.
Hey, appreciate you for coming through, fucking with us. I'm Move Work Nick Freak. This is Shadow, Deric Lostutter, and Felicia Joe.